welcome to Two Girls, Infinite Fandoms. This week we'll be discussing episode 3 of Sherlock, His Last Vow.
Season finale.
Woo! We would once again like to thank Lee Knapp for the amazing beginning introduction song.
And this video is basically, we get a new character, which is, his name is Magnuson, and we find out he is the person at the end of the first episode, and we find that he is in his mind palace, kind of what's similar to what Sherlock has. And then,
we find Sherlock drugged.
we find Sherlock drugged in a drug house, and which leads to
us entering into Sherlock's mind palace, where we get to go through many different things that you would never expect Sherlock to actually go through, or have dealt with, or anything basically.
Yeah.
And then after the mind palace, we kind of move on to Christmas.
Where Sherlock uses his Mycroft's government computer as a bargaining chip with Magnuson to get into his archives, which we find out there are no archives because it's all in his mind.
Dun dun dun.
And then Sherlock ends up killing Magnuson and goes into exile and then comes back and then comes back because of things.
Because things return.
Things return.
If you guys actually want to hear a much better synopsis, summary, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to call it, of not just that episode, but the whole series, then we have a video in the description below by Foot of a Ferret, also known as Ryder Brigham, who's a good friend of mine, who does videos every other week called A Brief History. It's a great series. You guys should definitely check it out because it doesn't just have Sherlock on it. It has Doctor Who, it has Paramore, and it even has some awesome YouTubers like Dan Howell and Phil Lester. So go ahead and go check that out.
Yep.
So today our first thing that we will be talking about is actually how creepy Magnuson is.
He just like looks creepy in the first place, but then we find out he is actually a creep because he ends up licking the one girl because he wanted to know what perfume she was wearing.
Okay, first of all, if a guy came up to me and like licked my face and was like, I just wanted to, figure out what perfume are you wearing,
no,
I would punch him in the face. No. Do not
please,
lick
no.
me.
Don't lick us. We don't like to be licked.
No.
And then we find out that Magnuson is really the only person who can beat Sherlock at his own game, kind of, the deduction game, because...
So he's not just creepy. He thinks he can beat Sherlock.
And now we move on to Sherlock being drugged and sassy.
He acted like a teenage girl.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a teenage girl.
Yeah.
So I guess I have the right to say that. I mean, if you guys don't think he acted like a teenage girl, that's cool.
But he acted like the typical teenage girl you would see on a TV show or something.
Yeah, it was kind of like, am I watching Sherlock? Am I watching Glee? Am I watching Teen Wolf? What am I watching here? Actually, he kind of acted like Dean whenever, Dean was, whenever Sam, like, sits there and, like, says something to him, and then he goes back and he's like, nuh-uh. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
And so now the mind palace of Sherlock. Something we have heard about before.
But we never got to witness it.
So this time we got to, and it was
something
insane.
I will never forget, honestly. And we first see it when he gets shot by Mary. We find out that Mary is some kind of assassin. Magnuson has information on her, and she does not want that information to be released to John. And
he gets shot
by Mary. And then
I liked you so much, and then you go off and shoot him.
And we start off with Sherlock trying to figure out how he should fall, and we see, like, what's her name?
Genevieve?
No!
I don't know who you're talking about. I'm sorry. Molly?
Molly! There we go, Molly. We love you. I just forgot your name for a second. Molly comes in and, like, acts as, like, a thinking mechanism how he should fall, and then we find out he should fall on his back, and then we see, like, memories of Sherlock. Sherlock is a child in the view of Mycroft's eyes.
First of all, Stephen Moffat, your son is absolutely adorable. And I would also like to say, imagine how Benedict Cumberbatch felt when he like walked on set and this child looked like baby him. It was like baby Sherlock had like showed up in our world. And he had the hair too. He's had that haircut for like 30 years. Or however old Sherlock is. Whatever.
And now we'll move on to
the fact that he had
a dog. I almost wanted to cry, even though that wasn't like an emotional moment. It's like, Sherlock had a dog.
That's really cute. And
I was like,
his name
here,
too.
Redbeard, come here, boy.
Only Sherlock would
and then
name
they're
after
like
a
talking,
pirate.
and they're talking about like dying and stuff, because I guess something happened to their dog. And they're talking about like both of them dying. It's like, I know how you feel now. I'm like, what?
I mean, I have dogs, so, like, I know the feeling of, like, you know, becoming really close to the dog and then it just, you know, passing away. So it was, I mean, it wasn't supposed to be an emotional time. Kind of was, but it wasn't.
Anyways, we'll move on now to... It's raining, it's pouring, Sherlock is boring, I'm laughing, I'm crying, Sherlock is dying.
That was really good.
Yeah, sorry, that we had to include that in
there. That
was
just, I was like totally creeped out actually during the song during the...
Yeah, but I thought it was cool that they brought him back, like, because Maury already...
I mean, it shows how like big of an impact he actually had on Sherlock, even though it was...
He's still in there, like... He's in his conscious kind.
And John's in danger!
And that's the one thing that will come up, that the fact that John was in danger made Sherlock want to live.
Make him come and say, I want to be alive! And he emerged like a beautiful butterfly. And then, you know, he goes off and shoots Magnuson, and then is told he has to be exiled
by his brother. You know that would suck too. Exile your brother.
Yeah, I know. I feel like that would be like that was probably a really hard. No, I know it was a really hard decision for.
Yeah, the fact that Sherlock solves crimes for the government all the time. So.
I mean, also he exiled his brother.
But still, like, you know, they like love each other, but they don't love each other at the same time.
I mean, I bet you Mycroft is sitting there like, who am I gonna play the deduction game with? Who am I gonna do this with? Who am I gonna do this with? Who am I going to annoy? Who are mother and father going to go visit when I tell them they can't visit me?
Yeah, and then he flies off in the plane, and then the clip plays. You miss me?
You miss me? That, and then he's brought back.
Then he's brought back by his brother, because I guess they want to figure out what the crap's going on, so.
Yeah. Alright, well, thank you for watching this video of Two Girls Infinite Fandoms. This will actually be our last Sherlock video until, you know, maybe Sherlock... Maybe
comes out again.
Yeah. If it comes on again, we may make more videos. Next week, we actually have a huge surprise for you guys. We're going to be doing a challenge video of some sort. Whew. In the comments below, we would actually like if you guys would tell us...
Recommend anything.
Recommend something. We have 2 ideas currently, but we don't really know
which one, so...
Yeah, so the question of the week, of the past 3 weeks, is what was your favorite episode of Sherlock? And...
let us know, please.
That would be really awesome. Alright, guys.
Thank
you.
Bye.
Miss me?